Welcome to Divine Scripture, the channel where we explore the profound wisdom of the Bible. Today, we embark on a captivating journey through the book of Genesis, delving into chapters 9 to 15. If you're new here, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell so you won't miss any of our thought-provoking analyses. But before we begin, let me remind you to find a comfortable space, take a deep breath, and let the calming sound of ocean waves transport you to a place of serenity as we explore the ancient text. In these chapters, we encounter powerful stories of divine covenants, the formation of nations, and the unwavering faith of Abraham. So, without further ado, let's dive into the depths of Genesis as we uncover its hidden treasures, all while being serenaded by the soothing rhythm of the waves. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Chapter 9. In this chapter, after the flood, God makes a covenant with Noah and his descendants, promising never to destroy the earth again with a flood. He establishes the rainbow as the sign of this covenant, as a reminder of this commitment. Noah and his sons multiply on the earth. Chapter 10. This chapter describes the genealogy of Noah's descendants, known as the Table of Nations. It lists the sons of Noah and their descendants, showing how different nations and ethnicities originated from them. Chapter 11. Here's the story of the Tower of Babel. People come together to build a tower that reaches the heavens, defying God's will. As a punishment, God confuses their languages, making them unable to understand each other, and disperses them throughout the earth, giving rise to different languages and cultures. Chapter 12. God calls Abram, later called Abraham, to leave his homeland and go to an unknown land, where God will bless him and make him a great nation. Abraham obeys and begins a journey of faith. Chapter 13. Abraham and his nephew Lot face problems of scarce pasture for their livestock. They decide to separate peacefully, with Abraham allowing Lot to choose the land he wants. Abraham remains in the land of Canaan. Chapter 14. In this chapter, a battle between kings takes place, and as a consequence, Lot is taken captive. Abraham then leads a daring rescue mission, defeating the enemy kings and recovering Lot and the other captives. Chapter 15. God makes a new covenant with Abraham, promising him descendants as numerous as the stars. Abraham expresses his faith in God, and this act of faith is considered by God as righteousness. God also reveals to Abraham that his descendants will be strangers in a foreign land for 400 years, but he will redeem them afterward. As we conclude this insightful journey through the chapters 9 to 15 of Genesis, I hope you found inspiration and wisdom in these ancient texts. But our exploration doesn't end here. Stay with me a little longer as we immerse ourselves in the full reading of these chapters, accompanied by the mesmerizing sound of the ocean. Let the rhythmic waves carry you on a profound spiritual journey as we delve deeper into the divine scripture. Relax, take a moment for yourself, and open your heart to the timeless teachings of the Bible. So, without further delay, let's continue with the full reading of chapters 9 to 15 of Genesis, while the calming sounds of the ocean embrace us in tranquility and reflection. Genesis 9. God blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth. The fear of you and the dread of you will be on every animal of the earth, and on every bird of the sky. Everything that the ground teems with, and all the fish of the sea are delivered into your hand. Every moving thing that lives will be food for you. As the green herb, I have given everything to you. But flesh with the life of it, the blood of it, you shall not eat. I will surely require your blood of your lives. At the hand of every animal I will require it. At the hand of man, even at the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man will his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man. Be fruitful, and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply in it." God spoke to Noah, and to his sons with him, saying, "As for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your offspring after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every animal of the earth with you. Of all that go out of the ark, even every animal of the earth. I will establish my covenant with you, neither will all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of the flood, neither will there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. God said, "This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you, for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it will be for a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. It will happen, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the rainbow will be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters will no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. The rainbow will be in the cloud. I will look at it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth." God said to Noah, "This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth." The sons of Noah who went forth from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. Noah began to be a farmer and planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and got drunk. He was uncovered within his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it on both their shoulders, went in backwards, and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were backwards, and they didn't see their father's nakedness. Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him. He said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants will he be to his brothers." He said, "Blessed be Yahweh, the God of Shem, let Canaan be his servant." God enlarged Japheth, let him dwell in the tents of Shem, let Canaan be his servant. Noah lived 350 years after the flood. All the days of Noah were 950 years, then he died. Genesis 11. The whole earth was of one language and of one speech. It happened, as they journeyed east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they lived there. They said one to another, "Come, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly." They had brick for stone, and they used tar for mortar. They said, "Come, let us build us a city, and a tower, whose top reaches to the sky, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad on the surface of the whole earth." Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men built. Yahweh said, "Behold, they are one people, and they have all one language, and this is what they begin to do. Now nothing will be withheld from them, which they intend to do. Come, let us go down, and there confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech." So Yahweh scattered them abroad from there on the surface of all the earth. They stopped building the city. Therefore the name of it was called Babel, because Yahweh confused the language of all the earth there. From there, Yahweh scattered them abroad on the surface of all the earth. This is the history of the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old, and became the father of Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. Shem lived after he became the father of Arpachshad 500 years, and became the father of sons and daughters. Arpachshad lived 35 years, and became the father of Shelah. Arpachshad lived after he became the father of Shelah 403 years, and became the father of sons and daughters. Shelah lived 30 years, and became the father of Eber. And Shelah lived after he became the father of Eber 403 years, and became the father of sons and daughters. Eber lived 34 years, and became the father of Peleg. Eber lived after he became the father of Peleg 430 years, and became the father of sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years, and became the father of Ru. Peleg lived after he became the father of Ru 209 years, and became the father of sons and daughters. Ru lived 32 years, and became the father of Sereg. Ru lived after he became the father of Sereg 207 years, and became the father of sons and daughters. Sereg lived 30 years, and became the father of Nahor. Sereg lived after he became the father of Nahor 200 years, and became the father of sons and daughters. Nahor lived 29 years, and became the father of Terah. Nahor lived after he became the father of Terah 119 years, and became the father of sons and daughters. Terah lived 70 years, and became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now this is the history of the generations of Terah. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran became the father of Lot. Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his birth, in Ur of the Chaldees. Abram and Nahor took wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, who was also the father of Iscah. Sarai was barren. She had no child. Terah took Abram his son, Lot the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife. They went forth from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. They came to Haran and lived there. The days of Terah were 205 years. Terah died in Haran. Genesis 12. Now Yahweh said to Abram, "Get out of your country, and from your relatives, and from your father's house, to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you, and make your name great. You will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And you will all of the families of the earth be blessed." So Abram went, as Yahweh had spoken to him. Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. Abram took Sarai his wife, Lot his brother's son, all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls who they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. Into the land of Canaan they came. Abram passed through the land to the place of Shechem, to the oak of Moreh. The Canaanite was then in the land. Yahweh appeared to Abram, and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." He built an altar there to Yahweh, who appeared to him. He left from there to the mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to Yahweh, and called on the name of Yahweh. Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south. There was a famine in the land. Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was sore in the land. It happened, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said to Sarai his wife, "See now, I know that you are a beautiful woman to look on. It will happen, when the Egyptians will see you, that they will say, 'This is his wife,' they will kill me, but they will save you alive. Please say that you are my sister, that it may be well with me for your sake, and that my soul may live because of you." It happened that when Abram had come into Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. The princes of Pharaoh saw her, and praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. He dealt well with Abram for her sake. He had sheep, and oxen, and he asses, and men servants, and maidservants, and she asses, and camels. Yahweh plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. Pharaoh called Abram, and said, "What is this that you have done to me? Why didn't you tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say, 'She is my sister,' so that I took her to be my wife? Now therefore, see your wife, take her, and go your way." Pharaoh gave men charge concerning him, and they brought him on the way, and his wife, and all that he had. Genesis 13. Abram went up out of Egypt, he, his wife, all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. He went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the altar, which he had made there at the first. There Abram called on the name of Yahweh. Lot also, who went with Abram, had flocks, and herds, and tents. The land was not able to bear them, that they might live together, for their substance was great, so that they could not live together. There was a strife between the herdsmen of Abram's cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanite and the Perizzite lived then in the land. Abram said to Lot, "Please, let there be no strife between me and you, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are relatives. Isn't the whole land before you? Please separate yourself from me. If you go to the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if you go to the right hand, then I will go to the left." Lot lifted up his eyes, and saw all the plain of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Egypt, as you go to Zoar. So Lot chose the plain of the Jordan for himself. Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, and Lot lived in the cities of the plain, and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were exceedingly wicked and sinners against Yahweh. Yahweh said to Abram, after Lot was separated from him, Now lift up your eyes, and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which you see, I will give to you, and to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then your seed may also be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it to you. Abram moved his tent, and came and lived by the oaks of Mamre, which are in Hebron, and built an altar there to Yahweh. Genesis 14. It happened in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasa, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goim, that they made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shenab, king of Admah, and Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, the same is Zoar. All these joined together in the vale of Siddim, the same is the Salt Sea. 12 years they served Chedorlaomer, and in the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year Chedorlaomer came, and the kings who were with him, and struck the Rephaim and Ashtaroth Karnaim, and the Zuzim and Ham, and the Emim in Shave Kiriathaim, and the Horites in their Mount Seir, to Elparan, which is by the wilderness. They returned, and came to En-Mishpat, the same is Kadesh, and struck all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites, that lived in Hazazon Tamar. There went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, the same is Zoar, and they set the battle in array against them in the vale of Siddim. Against Chedorlaomer king of Elam, and Tidal king of Goim, and Amraphel king of Shinar, and Arioch king of Elasa, for kings against the 5. Now the vale of Siddim was full of tar pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, and they fell there, and those who remained fled to the mountain. They took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their victuals, and went their way. They took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who lived in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. One who had escaped came and told Abram, the Hebrew, now he lived by the oaks of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Abram. When Abram heard that his relative was taken captive, he led forth his trained men, born in his house, 318, and pursued as far as Dan. He divided himself against them by night, he and his servants, and struck them, and pursued them to Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. He brought back all the goods, and also brought back his relative, Lot, and his goods, and the women also, and the people. The king of Sodom went out to meet him, after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him, at the vale of Shave, the same as the king's vale. Melchizedek king of Salem brought forth bread and wine, and he was priest of God Most High. He blessed him, and said, Blessed be Abram of God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. Abram gave him 1/10 of all. The king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the people, and take the goods to yourself. Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand to Yahweh, God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take a thread nor a shoe latchet nor anything that is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich. Except only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men who went with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre, let them take their portion. Genesis 15. After these things the word of Yahweh came to Abram in a vision, saying, Don't be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward. Abram said, Lord Yahweh, what will you give me, seeing I go childless, and he who will inherit my estate is Eliezer of Damascus? Abram said, Behold, to me you have given no seed, and, behold, one born in my house is my head. Behold, the word of Yahweh came to him, saying, This man will not be your heir, but he who will come forth out of your own body will be your heir. Yahweh brought him outside, and said, Look now toward the sky, and count the stars, if you be able to count them. He said to Abram, So shall your seed be. He believed in Yahweh, and he reckoned it to him for righteousness. He said to him, I am Yahweh who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldees, to give you this land to inherit. He said, Lord Yahweh, whereby will I know that I will inherit it? said to you, take me a heifer 3 years old, a female goat 3 years old, a ram 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. He took him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each half opposite the other, but he didn't divide the birds. The birds of prey came down on the carcasses, and Abram drove them away. When the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abram. Now terror and great darkness fell on them. He said to Abram, know for sure that your seed will be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them. They will afflict them 400 years. I will also judge that nation whom they will serve. Afterward they will come out with great sufferings. But you will go to your fathers in peace. You will be buried in good old age. In the 4th generation they will come here again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. It came to pass that, when the sun went down, and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace, and a flaming wood between these pieces. In that day Yahweh made a covenant with Abram, saying, to your seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. The Canaanites, the Kenizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites.